if I make these changes, I'm going to feel better when I wake up. And when I make plans to go on a biking adventure with my buddies, I'm going to feel better and be able to keep up and be able to make,
They get more excited about that than anything else.
Yeah, the excitement. And I think a part of it comes with age and where you are in your life is that transition from, am I getting excited about going out and partying and having a good time with my friends, or now am I getting excited about going out and having these adventures, making these memories, living these experiences? And the partying, those, we do have a lot of experiences and memories there, but
we're experienced partiers.
There's that transition to...
Hi, I'm Ian.
And I'm Megan.
Welcome back, or welcome to
the Memory Millionaires Podcast.
We are survivors of government service,
cancer,
world travel,
and parenting. We're here to share stories and insights to help illuminate your path towards a happier, healthier lifestyle. You have a very good snap.
I've used it for the dog and the kids now. That you will hear this. Actually, I don't really use it much for the kids. I use the clap, which is still way louder.
Yeah.
That's all those days of sounders.
Wow, that was a long time ago.
No, it wasn't. Long time ago that we were going to Sounders games?
I mean, what's your definition of a long time ago, I guess?
Pre-babies. That's what it was. It was pre-babies.
I mean, pre-2016, essentially.
Do you think people that knew us then, encountering us now, would see any of who they were familiar with?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I think about that a lot. Like, we think we're the same person.
Not the same
We
person.
are not the same people. We're not the same people as last week. But there's that, like, expectation. If you were to meet someone from work, it's like, oh, it's Josh, just like Josh. Josh opened a business. Oh, Josh has 5 kids. What?
Yeah.
So do you think anything that we were, anything that we were is left over?
The things that we were doing, the way we were behaving, it's just changed. I think it's
Gregarious.
It's still outgoing, still very active,
Still
social. It's just
social.
Shifted to
With kids.
with kids and
As parents.
More complimentary in a lot of ways.
Trying to be complimentary.
And
you mean who we are is more complimentary to who we are? What we're doing is more complimentary?
Our actions are more complimentary. We're not spending hundreds of dollars for a night of fun. We're not.
Can you imagine what that would have turned it like? Never mind.
No, because then we wouldn't be here.
Nope.
We're
gonna
not
do that.
I mean, personally, I can remember the last time I had more than 2 beers because...
Oh, I remember the last time I had more than 2 beers, yeah.
Because that was, right...
70-48, or it was...
your birthday weekend.
The birthday weekend, yeah.
Yeah, but for me, it was probably the night that this baby was conceived, or...
2 beers? Yeah, we were sampling everything that night.
Yeah, but just thinking about...
Alcohol, the baby maker.
In the past, having 2 beers on any given night... I mean, now I have an exception. I'm pregnant.
Friday night,
but
downpour,
any
2
given
beers.
Night. Having 2 beers is not out of the question. Now, even without being pregnant, since Colin was born, I could probably count on 2 hands the number of times that I've even felt tipsy.
So you're bringing it up as a complimentary series of choices.
Is, there's a lot of contradictory things that happen when we're drinking.
So
It's the money. It's the health.
So people would meet the similar Megan and Ian, but they would hear of and see them taking better care of themselves, right? Like stepping away from the
Yeah, because I think
interaction.
I think if we went to a Sounders game, just the two of us, we'd still want to sit in the supporter section, and we'd still be loud and have a good time, but it would be probably sober.
I'd have a beer or two.
Yeah, but not a 7.
But not, no, right. Not a bucket.
A pitcher of beer before we go to the game,
God,
and
those
then
buckets.
and then immediately buy a $10 beer when you get to the game, right?
Yeah, because the guy comes by and you just got to get it.
Yeah. So I think we're
Oh my God, how dehydrated were we?
same people making different choices.
It's no wonder we can go run around in the heat of the day. We've practiced being dehydrated. I think about that, how inadvertently some things that we've chose to do have made us better athletes, inadvertently. Well, better parents.
Like all the times that I've chosen to just like go for a drive and drive all night and stay up all night. Has that been complimentary to me? No, but so what are we talking about now? Other than the people we were, recognizing the people that we are now.
Well, it's part of our story, but is it part of our appeal? Because now we're talking about how to appeal to people, how to entertain people, I think is the right word to use. Are we entertaining? Yes, why? No, why not?
Right.
Can we teach others to be? How? And I think the right word is entertaining, because that's attention grabbing.
Well, first you have to appeal to them, and then you need to keep their attention, which is the entertainment. So first you have to people have to be drawn to us somehow. That's our appeal. Well, why are they drawn to us?
We're attractive.
Are we?
Look, this is an uncomfortable place to have. Oh, no. It's an uncomfortable area of society that we don't acknowledge, but there's an attractiveness to us. It's why maybe it's the love. Well, no. I believe it's the love that we feel for each other that first attracts. Well, no, that second attracts people. First attracts them is that we are better looking than we used to be, for sure. I can say that confidently. You haven't changed.
I don't know
you
about
haven't changed
me,
much
but
at all.
You're definitely
Better
a
looking?
lot sexier.
Oh, sexier. Excellent. Well, that's a factor, isn't it? Like you would lean on that. If it's a strength, you would use it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
So that's something we need to lean on, use if it is a strength, and if it's true to the people we'd like to entertain. No, you would, but you're saying appeal. I'm saying entertain.
Well, I think before we entertain them, there has to be a reason that they're tuning in.
Right. They're looking for guides on their path to wealthy through experience, to wealth of experience.
I think they might be very similar to where we were before, of happy with their lives, enjoying their lives, having fun, but they see where if I make these changes, I'm going to feel better when I wake up. And when I make plans to go on a biking adventure with my buddies, I'm going to feel better and be able to keep up and be able to make,
They get more excited about that than anything else.
Yeah, the excitement. And I think a part of it comes with age of and where you are in your life is that transition from, am I getting excited about going out and partying and having a good time with my friends, or now am I getting excited about going out and having these adventures, making these memories, living these experiences? And the partying, those, we do have a lot of experiences and memories there, but
We're experienced partiers.
there's that
Really.
transition to
Function, like it's got to be something more than just woo, what a night. It's got to be, wow, we made really great friends. Wow, we went to a really beautiful place. I want to go back
like,
there.
I accomplished this thing, because that's where I'm finding a lot of my satisfaction from, is that
Meaning,
and meaning is that
purpose.
I've gone and accomplished something rather than just going and just having a good time. Either I have accomplished something or I've helped someone else accomplish something. Like both of those, me accomplishing something for myself and me helping another person accomplish something, almost feel the same in the end, the result.
More so where it was, everyone has a good time at the party.
Yeah.
Now it is, we go together to what took us off that kind of, I don't know, floater path of like, oh, we just go and everything else happens. We drink a lot and feel better that way. We talk a lot and feel better that way. And now it's more, no, we need an experience, not
just
the experience, but a new experience.
It's not always necessarily new. I mean, I guess you could say that some of these endeavors we're undertaking, even if it's, like I'm gonna draw from my own experience. Last year, I attempted to run 100 miles twice. It's the same thing. It's the same event, but the experience is not the same at all. And then also thinking about the things that we've done to help our friends and people we know to reach some of those goals. When our Monday Run Day crew did their marathon, when Hannah did her row, when, different people have these goals for themselves. Even that 10 minutes that we were there to give encouragement, or the 12 miles that we ran with them and just hung out and had a good time. The small amount of ourselves that we're giving up to help encourage our friends and acquaintances to reach these goals and milestones.
To a future self.
Yeah, is that actualization of, I had this goal and I did it. Mm-hmm. So if I can run the marathon or row the 48 hours or finish the 50K,
what else can I do? I can start my own business. I can own my own house. I can have kids. I can have a good relationship.
And I think that's where we started on this path was, for me, a big part of it was hiking the Appalachian Trail. My goal is to go out there and see how long I could hike. Like, I had this big goal of going I can hike the whole thing, but really, how long could I actually do this before? Because in my mind, it wasn't going to be very long.
That you would be on
that? I thought that I would be capable of keeping that up and doing that every day.
The you that started couldn't see how, or could only imagine a future you that did a lot of hiking. But the you that started was sure you weren't going to do a lot.
Yeah, so I started with, I think it'd be really cool if I could hike the entire Appalachian Trail, but with the same thought of, I don't think I can hike the entire Appalachian Trail. Like, I want to make it through the 100-mile wilderness.
Right now, I don't believe I could, but I'm not on the trail. And
right.
When you were on the trail, did things, you had, that's the like junk first mile of a run. Yeah, you're not going to feel great after getting out of your car and just throwing yourself onto a trail. But it's the knowledge that, okay, I got to the trail, I'm on it, I'm running. That's what needed to happen before I even got the opportunity to run 50 miles.
Right, and I hiked that first, it was almost 300 miles. It was all of Maine. I hiked that section, and in that time I realized, well, I can do this every day. Like, it's actually not that hard. I just have to do it. Most of it was enjoyable, but also having the realization at the time that my timing of when to do it wasn't the right time. But knowing that, getting into that and finishing that first section and knowing like, oh, I am capable of doing a long distance hike, got me to the point of what else am I capable of doing?
Right. What could I do? I wonder if I could do that. I wonder if I could do it. Curiosity. Curiosity, I believe, is at the basis of every human.
The very important lesson that I learned there was maybe your long-term goal is, my long-term goal is to hike all of the Appalachian Trail. But that shouldn't be where I start necessarily. So these... So I think a lot of times what
I'm setting off to finish the Appalachian Trail. But no, you're actually starting.
Right. I'm starting something. You can have a long-term goal that is very big and audacious. But in the meantime, you need those smaller little interim things to get you through. Otherwise, if you're grinding after the same goal day after day for days, weeks, months, years, at what point do you start to get a little bit deterred from the goal? Or
you mean the
you're not
analysis
seeing,
or paralysis by analysis?
No, I mean you keep thinking, I'm never going to reach this goal. I've been working on the same thing for 8 months and I'm still not at this place. Well, you set that goal so big and lofty and so far in the distance.
Smart goals.
That you didn't set the stepping stone goals on the way there. Like, okay, I want to hike the Appalachian Trail. I hiked Maine.
Get a pack.
Well, yeah, at first it's like...
Get to the trail.
Get there. But there's a lot of other steps along the way of things that you can do that eventually are going to lead up to being able to do the entire Appalachian Trail.
Like when you grabbed a pack and just walked around in the trails for 6 hours or something.
Yeah, I just went and said, I'm just going to walk all day.
You okay?
Yep, I'm okay.
There's a baby in your belly.
Yep.
Tap dancing on your...
He's not tap dancing.
Innards. Stretching into your gut that's full of food.
There's very little space and a whole lot of baby. I'm okay.
Okay, good. That'd be wild if you went into labor during a podcast.
So, actually, thinking of kids,
Oh.
Say that before we started having kids, we said, we're going to have 4 kids. We're going to have 4 great kids. Yeah. But you haven't even had one yet, right?
Right.
You have the one, you're like, whoa.
Right.
Well, one might be enough.
Is this times 4? No.
No,
it's times 12.
Yeah, it's so.
But people do it.
Yeah, people do.
They set that. What I'm saying, I should clarify. They do it. I want to be an Olympic gold medalist.
Yeah, but that's...
And then have the discipline to go through...
That's not the only goal that they have.
The collegiate pursuit.
Right. Having...
Well, but that's where they start. They don't, they wake up or they watch the Olympics for the first time when they're 13 and see a gold medalist and be, in their minds, I want that.
Right, but if you also don't set the goal of, okay, when I'm in high school, I need to be one of the top swimmers in the state. Right. So if you're just swimming and no really plan, no stepping stones to get to being the gold medal.
Right, that's where a coach comes in.
Right, but that is where the coach comes in, and where the coach says,
correcting you.
All right, well, by the time you're a junior in high school, you need to be top swimmer in the state. Mm-hmm. Right? But without any kind of guidance, you might just be...
You'll get a gold medal if...
You could attempt a gold medal if...
Right, yeah, there's still the final showdown.
So there's that's where coach comes in, is I have this big lofty goal and that's all I can think of and that's all I can set my mind on is gold medal in this very far off place.
You're going to grind yourself into dust.
You're either going to grind yourself into dust or you're not going to have the proper steps to get there.
You're just gonna, and you're going to fall off.
By this age, I need
path.
to be able to do this. By this time, I need to be able to do this. At this 3 years before, cycle before the next Olympics, I need to be at this point in my training plan.
So, are we claiming that we as the memory millionaires have the kind of system or process or I believe I have the mindset to help someone through it, but it's not. How do we show someone? Say someone from our Sounders time comes to us and is like, "Hey, I hear you guys.
Yeah.
What do you got?"
Say they want to do an Ironman.
Well, go off of what we're experienced with.
Right. So they want to do an athletic endeavor. I want to complete an Ironman. Okay. Where are you as far as what are you doing for any kind of running, swimming, biking? Those are going to be very important for you to be able to complete an Ironman. Are you doing all of those things? But also, how's your sleep? How is your nutrition? What is your mindset like? If you go out for a 50-mile bike ride and something...
You're cursing your bike the whole time.
Yeah, something goes wrong in the first 5 miles, does that ruin your entire bike ride? Or do we need to work on the mindset piece? Because a lot of these, especially...
You went to athletic coaching.
Well, I'm just saying that where we would fit in that is what's all the other steps getting to the athletic feat, right?
Okay. Yeah, right, because you can jump on Strava, and Strava's going to give you a triathlon workout program.
There's like the complete book of triathlon training, right? Mm-hmm. If you open that up...
Isn't it outside for sale in our garage sale?
If you open it up and look at the first workout, but you don't have any of the tools as far as, did you get a good night's sleep before you go and do your first day of training? Did you get enough protein and carbs before you go out on a 50-mile bike ride?
Well, even that's in a book.
Is your...
I think it's the working with...
mindset?
Someone, when we can hear them, hear that he or she is... I don't know. Let's make some archetypes. A little overweight, depressed, and overworked. And they want to do the triathlon stuff. Well, now we start to listen to them about their life. Like, what is keeping you up at night? Is it the bad relationship that you keep into entertaining? Okay, well, that's contradictory. So now we talk about the contradictory thing. We find it. What we can assure a client approaching us is that we have found contradictory things in our life, and we have learned how to spot them and how to gracefully get rid of them. There's a few things that I've quit cold turkey, and I know a few things you've quit cold turkey, but otherwise we had to gracefully get out of bad employment. We had to gracefully get out of a bad relationship. So if we could positively or confidently say anything, I think it's that. I think in the language that I've coined in my coaching realm, where it's complementary or contradictory, we've identified social contradictions to who we want to be, which is someone with a wealth of experience. We've identified social constraints and navigated those, let alone our own individuals.
Yeah, and where I'm more focused is on the self-constraints. So, and
a feminine constraint from society.
Well, there's that, but that ties heavily into the self-constraints. Like, the constraints that you put on yourself are what are coming from.
Oh, your conditioning.
Outside, your conditioning. Mm-hmm. So, like, have you developed a sense of self-love and self-care? Like, what is your self-care routine? Because you're not going to be able to accomplish much if you haven't figured out how to slow down to take care of yourself. Mm-hmm. Right? If you haven't been given the tools necessary to, after a bad training session, after a hard day at work, after something contradictory maybe happens, to give yourself a little bit of love.
It's what you do in the valleys. It's not what you do at the peak.
Right.
When you're at the peak, yeah, take a look around. It's great.
And I see a lot of people that are at the peak, and this is awesome, fuck yeah, I'm having a great time. But when they get to that valley, they're totally lost. They don't know what to do. Everything's wrong. Things are bad. They're lost.
Mm-hmm.
And my goal is to first, before anything else, help to develop that care for oneself, the self-love, what practice do I need to incorporate into my life to take care of myself first and foremost. And that was a big lesson I've learned over the years, but more so since having kids, because they deplete you. They can just push every button and really wear you down.
I'm going to be watching this someday.
And
think about that.
There's been a lot of times where I've thought, I just need to give more to them. I need to take better care of them. I need to do this for them. And there's a video I saw recently of like a mom. She's like, fill your own cup first. But as she's pouring her cup, all the water is spilling down the side and going into someone else's cup, right? You think that...
yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
You think that your actions are toward filling your own cup. I see this a lot with moms. I see this a lot in general of people not knowing the proper way of filling their own cup. But more so with moms. So that's one of the various reasons that I specifically want to work with women. But learning, what does self-care actually look like for you, for me, for Amy, whoever it is.
Yeah, ignore the noise.
It's going to look different. My self-care looks totally different than another person's self-care.
Yeah, you running around in the forest for hours at a time does not feel like care to other people, but it is.
No, and
for you.
Then there's.
And I know you're missing it.
There's a struggle of, well, I don't have time for that. I don't have the capacity to do that. You don't have the capacity to care for others or do the work you need to do.
Yeah, that's.
Pursue the hobbies. Be a good friend. Be a good parent. Be a good spouse.
It's after the foundation stuff.
If you aren't coming from a place where you're yourself taken care of and your own cup is filled and your own needs are met.
Your capabilities are diminished. You're not going to be capable of that. You are going to go do it, but you're not going to be capable of doing it.
Yeah, or you might do it and just feel awful and no joy from it. So,
right, and everyone's crying.
So that self-care piece is really important for me to be the foundation of the work.
Ditto. In my work with clients, it is that those words, complementary and contradictory to who? Their future self,
right.
Not their future family. Going back to, it took parenthood to emphasize the point that you need to focus on yourself, because when yourself is better, everyone's coming with you up the mountain, up to the peak. They're not, even if they're, tired, hungry, and overstressed, as you're not, you bring all of those people up with you. But if you are too, no one's going anywhere. Right. Everyone's going to stay stressed. This week, I met with a friend who encouraged me to, instead of build my own online presence, is to build our online presence so that it could introduce people to Memory Millionaires, and from there apply either your strengths or my strengths to their needs. Mm-hmm. So maybe all this is that we are coaches, and Memory Millionaires is the sexy, attractant, engaging thing that leads them to an elevated woman, happier, healthier lifestyle. So that's what we're working on next, is how to responsibly, I would say responsibly first, engage with people who are, well, who they're not in a good place. How do you do that though? How do you responsibly, you don't go saying, spend your money here. We have to talk about results. We have to talk about some sort of a product or some sort of a process, or tell more. Well, I think it's going to come from stories.
Well, what is the result? We already have words for those results. It's a happier, healthier lifestyle.
Elevated.
Okay? Elevated life. What do those words mean? Well, they're going to mean something different for everyone, right? Being happier and healthier isn't even the same.
Yeah, between
the two of us. Being an elevated woman, well, what does that mean? Well, that's going to be dependent on what are your goals. But in each of those definitions, it is realizing that where you are, there's something to aspire to be a better version of. Right? I'm still Megan. I'm still the Megan that went and hung out and partied.
No,
But
I don't believe that's true.
I've aspired to make a change to be healthier first, happier second, and then I realized once I got to that place where I was healthier and happier, I thought there's still more. There's still a piece that I'm missing, and that's when the working one-on-one with very specifically with a female coach on like femininity and becoming more acquainted with my feminine essence and what it is to essentially be a goddess, right?
Oh, that's something we could talk about.
That's
more often.
Where I'm healthier, I'm happier, and now I've gotten to this place where I feel even more elevated in who I am and being true to what is my passion, what is my strength, what is my drive for life.
The same person. I'm still stuck on that.
I'm still Megan.
You're the person called Megan. Well, no. What is that? If you're not.
Well, I was just interestingly listening to a podcast about how there's different cultures around the world where they acquire different names as they age. Because the person that was being interviewed.
I think I would be a different name. I don't look like or behave like that guy. There's a picture of,
Yeah.
pre what I think was life-changing experience right over there.
Yeah,
it's not the same guy.
So the person being interviewed had changed their name, and the question came up: what brought you about to that name change? And it was, I am the person that, my birth name. I am to this point. I am that person, and that person made me who I am now. But I've gone through this evolution and this growth. And now this name ties me to, when people think of this name, they think of this person, but now I'm not this person anymore. So.
We did that.
Yeah.
We did that with Landstein.
Yeah.
We are of Landholt and Stein, but we are Landstein now.
Right. And
I love that just came out of, like,
that
wasn't our idea.
It wasn't our idea, but
it was just from the universe.
Fits so well with, there's that transition of us going from just being a couple to being married and making that commitment to we're a team for life.
You made that earlier than me.
But there's also we both shed a part of our name to create a new name, right?
I don't see it that way.
But, okay.
They're both there.
They are both there, but there's a piece of each of those names that we left off. And I think of that as, it could be symbolic of, there's pieces of our histories and our learned behavior and experience that we also, these are traits, these are toxic kind of behaviors that we want to leave behind. So while it wasn't our intention when we chose to create our new name, I still think of that sometimes. Of there's this piece of Einstein that I don't want to carry forward with me. And while I'm proud of the family I came from, I still don't want to carry some of those traits forward, if that makes sense.
Well, it's yours. It's your sense to make. It's your opinion of the name to have. It's an interesting that you're focused on what you're trying to get rid of. And
Well, that's not
in my mind, it's all there. It's all there. There's no. Well, okay. Back to the. Oh, I am the person I was. I don't believe that. And who you are now doesn't have to have anything to do with your past if you don't want it to.
Correct.
You can have the opinion that that is been and gone and has no effect on your future. Or you can have the opinion of, I am an Einstein and there are pieces of that have to be with me.
Yeah, and there are pieces of that I
Okay.
don't have to carry forward.
Okay. He's just
Yeah.
bebopping a bit.
Yeah.
Okay. You're also like swallowing a lot. Do you want to be done?
I think it's time to be done. I have heartburn now.
Okay.
Maybe we could do a short podcast about having a baby.
About having a baby?
I mean, parenting and what's going on now.
While having a baby? What are you saying?
Are we done?
If you want to be.
Yeah.
Wait. Don't go. If you found value in this episode, please subscribe and share via review or post how this episode complemented your life.
Thank you for listening. Connect with us at Instagram or Facebook at Memory Millionaires. Be well.